Peace, love, and joy, and it's show number 25 for all you newcomers. We're speaking here with the pastor, Hippie Pastor Julio, and here is the quote for today. The quote for today, it say, "Life is a fairy tale, but then there are evil ones that only want to make war, kill, harm, and steal. When we should be loving and laughing." Who's responsible for that quote? It is I. That quote was written by me in a moment of inspiration by the Hippie Pastor. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall continue our reading with the words of Jesus. As you all may remember, we are still in Matthew 15 because I keep getting sidetracked. I keep getting sidetracked by these pet peeves that annoy me that I must speak about. Today we are going to speak about a legend, a song that was a legend from a band that was a legend, and that still is a legend, and they're still going on. The Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger, Sir Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones. Let's have a round of applause for them boys, and they're still at it. Yeah, they played in North Carolina about a week ago, and in November they're going to be in Lima, Peru, here in November of 2015, planet Earth. Lima, Peru. Yeah, man, those guys, they still got it. They still got the magic. Thank you, Rolling Stones, and thank you, Mick Jagger. But there's an issue. If you need a tissue, take one, because I got to talk about this song, Sympathy for the Devil. Sympathy for the Devil was one of the most inspiring, emotional, heartfelt songs that Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones produced. Does anybody agree with me? Do you think Sympathy for the Devil was an awesomely inspired song with power, with emotion, with wisdom, with depthness, not just some superficial little lullaby or la? No, this was a heavy song, man, made with some power, with some energy, that gave them, like in Latin America, they call them the satanic princes. The satanic princes. Yeah, stupidity, man. I mean, and that gave them a satanic edge. And the Christian world became convinced in their own conscience that Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones were from the devil, were from Satan. They were Satan worshippers. Because Christians are afraid of Satan. They fear Satan, which is a secret form of worship. Fear is a form of worship. Okay? Love casts out fear. But the Christians have this fear of Satan, anything satanic, whatever related, because, they're very superstitious, and they don't realize that their man, Jesus Christ, their supposed dude that they supposedly follow, Jesus Christ, said that the spirit that is in us, as good people, is greater than the spirit that is in the world. So there's nothing to fear, man, when it comes about Satan. There's nothing to fear. He was defeated. He was defeated 2,000 years ago, and guess what? Let's have a little sympathy. Let's have a little mercy. Let's not be so self-righteous. We don't know that the story in the Gospels of the prodigal son may have its final revelation and its final prophetic fulfillment, and maybe Satan, Lucifer, will come back to the arms of God, having learned the great lesson, and there shall be no eternal damnation for nobody. And there'll be a happy ending, and evil shall be turned into good, and hate shall be turned into love, and pride shall be turned into humility. I have spoken. I can't believe it. So now, let us allow Jesus. No, not Jesus. Let us allow Mick Jagger to express himself in the lyrics of Sympathy for the Devil, because there's something I need to show you, especially you Christians. You need to understand this. Here goes Mick. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. I've been around for a long year, stole many a man's soul and faith. Thank you, Rooster. And I was round when Jesus Christ had his moment of doubt and pain. Made damn sure that Pilate washed his hands and sealed his fate. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. I stuck around St. Petersburg when I saw it was time for a change. I killed the Tsar and his ministers. Anastasia screamed in vain. I rode a tank, held the general's rank, when the blitzkrieg raged and the bodies stank. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Oh yeah. Ah, but what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. I watched with glee while your kings and queens fought for 10 decades for the gods they made. I shouted out, who killed the Kennedys? When after all it was you and me. Let me please introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste, and I laid traps for troubadours who get killed before they reach Bombay. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Just as every cop is a criminal and all the sinners saint, as heads is tails, just call me Lucifer, 'cause I am in need of some restraint. But what's confusing you is just the nature of my game. So if you meet me, have some courtesy, have some sympathy and some taste. Use all your well-learned politeness, or I'll lay your soul to waste. Pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name, but what's puzzling you is the nature of my game. Yeah, baby. That's it, that's Mick Jagger. That's Mick Jagger, and that's Sympathy for the Devil. Okay, guys. This, in your lack of imagination, in your small brain, you Christian fundamentalist, moralist, hypocrite, in your small brain with no imagination, this is an expose, a fearless expose, exposing Satan of how he has worked behind the scenes in all of history, allowing for prophecy and for history to be fulfilled as it is designed and supposed to, with good and evil. So it's no Satan worship, it's an expose, and why not tell it like it is? And Mick Jagger had the guts to tell it like it is, even if a lot of people criticize him in the religious Christian world of moralists and fundamentalist Orthodox Christians turned their back on him and accused him and pointed the finger and accused him of being a Satan worshiper. And I'll say, the Christian fundamentalist, moralist, Orthodox are the Satan worshippers because they fear Satan. And fear, excuse me, I got excited there. Fear is a form of worship. And now, brothers and sisters, let's get back to our Words of Jesus study. Thank you, Mick Jagger. Okay. Then Jesus called his disciples and said, I have compassion on the multitude because they continue with me now 3 days and have nothing to eat, and I will not send them away fasting lest they faint in the way. So the disciples said, but there's too many people. And Jesus says, how many loaves have ye? And they said, 7 and a few little fishes. And he commanded the multitude to sit down, and that's where he did the miracles and fed everybody with 7 and 2 fishes. The multiplication was the name of the game, and that was a miracle that Jesus Christ did. I give him honor and respect. Thank you for feeding all those people, Jesus. I'm sure they really appreciated it. It wasn't fish and chips. It was fish sandwiches. That must have been nice. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are fastly approaching. We are not fastly approaching. We are already on Matthew 16. The Pharisees and the Sadducees came tempting him, desiring that he would show them a sign from heaven, of his divinity, whatever. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. Okay, so when he's talking about wicked and adulterous, he's referring to the religious people, the fundamentalist, religious, organized, Orthodox Christian, religionists. Same like the Christian Orthodox, the same thing. They follow the same route of religious hypocrisy and bigotry and spiritual pride. But that's what he's talking about. He was really against religious hypocrisy. He never condemned the honest sinner like us. Okay? So, The signs of the times. They couldn't discern the signs of the times because, he said he was the Son of God and he came to bring the gift of eternal life and the kingdom of heaven. Okay, great. Okay, so the disciples, they had forgotten to bring bread. And then Jesus said to his disciples, after that event of arguing with the Pharisees, with the religious people, Jesus said to his disciples, "Take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees." And they reasoned among themselves, saying, "Is it because we have brought no bread?" When Jesus perceived this, he said, "O ye of little faith, why reason ye among yourselves because ye have brought no bread? Do ye not yet understand? Neither remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000 and how many baskets he took up? Neither the 7 loaves of the 4,000 and how many baskets he took up? How is it that you do not understand that I spake not to you concerning bread, that ye should beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees?" So he was not talking about the bread, he was talking about their words. He meant their words. Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees, their words, their religious hypocrisy. So I say to you too, my fans, beware of these Christian hypocrites and biblical, whatever they call themselves on a spiritual pride trip. Yes, even the rooster agrees. Yes, beware of them, because their hypocrisy and their interpretation of the Bible is all wrong, and it will mislead you, and it will turn you up and make you they'll make you into an atheist in no time with their religious hypocrisy and their double standards and their falsehood and their lack of real spiritual experience, because God has no religion. Yes, because God has no religion. We already know that. So these people come with all these situations. No, we're not going to buy it. We're not going to buy it. So that's what he was talking about. Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and of the Sadducees. Okay, when Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, "Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" They said, "Some that thou art John the Baptist, some that thou art Elias, some that you're Jeremiah or one of the prophets," like a reincarnation. And he said, "But whom say ye that I am?" And Peter answered and said, "Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God." Is that the Messiah, right? And Jesus answered and said unto him, "Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter." Oh, he gave him a new name. His name was Simon Bar-Jonah. "Thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." Boy, that's a lot of power. But really the main key for the kingdom of heaven, which Jesus was referring to here, and it was the key for Jesus, it's the key for Peter, and it's the key for us, is forgiveness. If you want to be forgiven, forgive others. Forgive those who have hurt you, and you shall be forgiven, and you shall inherit the kingdom of heaven, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us. Okay, so then, from that time Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised again the 3rd day. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, "Be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not be unto thee." And he turned and said unto Peter, "Get thee behind me, Satan! Thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men." Whoa. So now before he told Peter, "I'm going to give you the keys, you are Peter, you're the rock upon which I shall build my church," and now he called him Satan. Jeez. Jesus was a moody guy, man. First he blessed him and said, "You're the great one that, you're the rock, and on top of you I'll build my church, and I'll give you the keys." And then 5 minutes later, he's calling him, "Get away from me, Satan! You Satan!" So wow, Jesus had he had emotional guy, man. So that just goes to show you, that Peter had issues, man. First, Jesus, he put him way up, elevated his self-image, way up there. "Oh, you're so holy, you're so good," and then boom, he threw him down to the ground, man, and smashed on him and said, Get behind me, Satan. He called him Satan. That was a heavy insult back in them days, you know. Now you call somebody Satan and they might thank you, or they might start singing Sympathy for the Devil or the Rolling Stones. But in those days, to be called Satan was a heavy-duty insult. So Jesus had his moments, and Peter was no angel, and we know that later because he turned very self-righteous and led Christianity in a different direction than Jesus Christ. Jesus probably already knew this. And then he also denied him 3 times when the rooster crowed. And we just heard a rooster crow. What a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen, because Muhammad Ali said, when you put a rooster in the dark, he keeps quiet, but when he sees the light, he starts crowing. So that's why the rooster's crowing, and that's why we're crowing here. And I love you, and I gotta go. I got things to do. Love you, people. Be blessed.